Hi team, in this video we will see how you can create OData API from RFC or remote enable function module using map to data source. Okay, so let's get started. Suppose we have a requirement where we want to create API from these two function module. Okay, actually this is BAPI and we will start from the first one. We have this BAPI underscore flight underscore get list. Okay, we'll copy this and we will see how the import and export parameters are there. We will go to SE37. We will open this and we will see attributes. Okay, so in attributes, if you see this remote enabled module radio button is ticked. Okay, so this is the first requirement for creating this OData API. Your function module must be remote enabled. Okay, if you have custom function module, you can edit here and click here, and but if you have standard, you cannot edit, but most of them are remote enabled. Okay, most of the BAPIs are remote enabled function module. Okay, so if we go to import, then we have this 4 parameters and all of them are optional. Okay, this is the column for optional. Okay, so we will go to export. We don't have any parameter. In changing also we don't have anything. In tables we have 5 tables. Okay, and if we try to execute this, as we have this optional import parameters, we will directly execute this. We are getting 92 entries. Okay, we will go to SEGW. SEGW is a T code for SAP Gateway Service Builder. SEGW. Then we will click on create project. We can give any name. I will use Z map to data source. Okay, because that is what our video is trying to explain. Okay, we will copy the same name to description also. We will click on local object. Okay, see we have 4 folders: data model, service implementation, runtime artifact, and service maintenance. Okay, inside data model we will create one entity type. We can give the name of the function module itself as the entity type. We'll copy this and we will paste here. We will also click this check mark, create related entity set. Okay, it is suggesting some name also, BAPI underscore flight underscore get entity set, sorry, get list set. Okay, so this is the name. We can click continue. So we have created this entity type and one entity set is also generated with it. Now we will go to properties and these properties are nothing but fields. Okay, and we will add according to our input and output parameters. So what is the input parameter? We have this airline as input. Okay, we have this destination from, destination to, and max rows. Okay, and we are getting our output inside flight list. Okay, so we will take only one parameter as most of them are optional, and then we will use this flight list as output. Okay, so let's see what we have inside that flight list. We'll click on associated type and we'll copy this. Okay, we can copy this airline ID. We can copy this airline. Connection ID. FL date. I think this is enough for us. Then as you can see, we have this airline as output also, and in input also we have this airline. Okay, so we will see how we will handle it. So we will give some type to it, else we will get an error. edm.string. So we will choose edm.string for each of them. Okay, so these are our output types, and if I click on check, we will get an error. Okay, this entity type must be defined at least one key property. Okay, we need at least one key property. So what we are getting as input and output, this airline ID we are getting as input also, and we are also getting inside our flight flight list also we are getting. Okay, so we will choose it as a key. Okay, whatever sorry, this one, whatever you choose as a key can be used as input. Okay, if you don't choose as key, you cannot use it as input. Okay, so I have checked this. Now I will save this. If I check it again, we will not get any error. If I expand this service implementation, and this is our entity set, we have these 5 things: create, delete, entity, which is used for read, then get entity set, which is used for query, and then update. Okay, so as we are getting multiple records as output, we will use get entity set. Okay, if we are only getting one record in output, we can use get entity. Okay, in the other half of this video, we are using this get entity. Okay, so you can refer that. For now, we will right click here and we will use map to data source. So here we have 2 radio buttons, local and remote. Okay, if you are using your system's RFC, you can use local, else you can choose remote and provide the RFC destination. RFC destination can be provided by basis, which is created inside SM59. Okay, so here we can choose the type. Type can be remote function call. Then we will paste the name of the function module. What is the function module name? We can copy from here. Okay, so this is the name of the function module, bapi underscore flight underscore get list. We will click on continue. So now we need to do the mapping. Okay, so in output flight list, we are getting the output. This is the first field. Where is it? This is this airline ID. Okay, and you can hover on this and you can see if it is input or output. Okay, so this is output. Then we can drag and drop this airline also. Okay, then we can click here also, connection ID. Then we can click on this flight date. Okay, so as we have discussed, this airline is a key which can be used as input and output both. So we will again have one airline and we will map it with our import parameter. Okay, so now it will be like this input. Okay, now we will save it and we will try to generate it. Let's see if we are getting any error or not. Service implementation error for entity operation. Okay, we can expand this. So this is the error. Data source attribute f flight date and model property have different type. Okay, so we will go to our properties, and in flight date we have problem. So we can click here, ABAP type editor. We can choose explicit assignment, and then we can see what is the type for this FL date. So the type for FL date is S underscore DATE. It is a data element. So we will choose data element here. Okay. Then we will click on continue. We will try to generate it again. Okay. It is asking us for if we want to change these names. This is default. We will go generating few classes. Okay, we will choose the local object. See, we have generated this. Now we can go to this service maintenance, and this you can see e at h underscore 000. I will right click on it and I will click on register to register our service. Okay, I don't know what is the system alias. I can click on F4. Then I can remove all of this. I can click on continue. See, I have so many systems. I will click on this local. If you don't know what to choose here, you can ask your basis team. Okay, I have choose local. I will click on continue. Then this is the technical service name which will be visible inside the URL, and consumer can see this. Okay, so you can modify it according to your need, and then we can click on continue. Also, you have to specify a package, so you can click on local object, then you can click on continue. So we haven't got any message. We will try to register it again. See, we are getting error. Service is already registered. Okay, so we will test it using right click and SAP Gateway client. Click on yes. So we will directly execute because we don't need any input parameter. Okay. See, we are not getting any output, and we are also getting 200. So because we haven't selected this entity set, so what is our entity set? This BAPI flight get entity set. Okay, so we can choose it and we can execute this. Okay, so we are getting the output. We are getting so many records. Let's count it using this add URI option. You can click on count. We will again execute this. We are getting 92 records. Okay, we are getting 92 records. If I show you inside the function module how many records we are getting there, we will execute this. We will execute without any input. We are getting 92 entries. Okay, so we are getting correct output. Now if we want to pass the input parameter, we can use question mark filter, then we can use equal to, and what is the parameter name which we are passing? We are using airline. Okay, so we can use airline. In capital we need to use airline. EQ, we can use EQ. Then we will pass the airline, suppose it is AA. Okay, so we'll try to execute. We are getting the 200 status code, so it is working, and we are getting few records. Okay, so if we want to check if we are getting inside the function module or not, you can use this external breakpoint. We can go to the code and we can click on here. It will create an external breakpoint. Now I will execute this again. See, we are getting here, and if I click this airline, we are not getting the input. Okay, so we have missed this dollar here. Okay, we will press F8 again and we will use dollar here. Dollar is required to survive. So we will click on execute. We are again reaching here. If we again check if we are getting this airline or not, see, we are getting this AA. Okay, so if we execute this, how many records we are getting? We are getting 5-6 record. Okay, and if we directly execute this, how many record we are getting? If we pass AA and execute, we are getting 6 inside flight list. Okay, so I think it is working now. If you want to use this URI option to count, you can use count, and we will execute this again. So I think we cannot use it here. Can I paste it ahead? Yes, I can paste here, and we are getting 6 record. Okay, so this is the correct output we are getting, and Now we will move to our second function module. Okay, what is it? BAPI underscore flight underscore get detail. Okay, we can copy this. We can open inside SE37. Let's display this. So first thing we need to check is go to attributes and see if it is remote enabled or not. If it is not remote enabled, you cannot create. Enable it or reject the requirement. You can do workaround also. Maybe you can use a wrapper function module and use it as a remote enable. So you might be able to achieve this requirement. Okay. So we will see in future. Okay. So inside import, if we click, we have three import parameters: airline ID, connection ID, flight date. Okay. Then if we see this export, we have this flight data, additional information, and availability. Okay. In changing, we don't have anything. In tables, we have three tables. Okay. So let's try to execute this. If we directly execute, it will not allow, because this time we don't have optional parameter. You can see here optional is not tick, so we cannot directly execute. We need something as input. Okay, so we can again go to the earlier function module to get the input for this. We can click BAPI flight get list and we can execute this. Execute without any input. Remove this breakpoint, execute. We are getting 92 entries. Let's see what we are getting. So we are getting AA. We can put AA here. Then we are getting 0017. We can put 0017 here also. Okay. Then we are getting some flight date. What is 18/3/2025? So we can use 18/3/2025. Okay, we will execute this. We are getting data inside flight data. Okay, so let's see if we can create API on this or not. See, so for this API we have only one input parameter, so we cannot use this entity set with our new API. We will create a new entity set for this API. Else, if we have same input output parameter, or we can say same input parameter, we can use this get entity of this entity set. Okay, but for now we will create a new entity set. We can click on create, and for the entity type we can, for entity name we can give this get detail. This is our second function module. We can copy, we can paste to the entity type name. Then we can click on this create related entity set, and it is again suggesting some name. Just by appending this set, we will go with the default only. Okay, so we have this entity type, and we also have this entity set, new entity set, get detail set. Okay, so in properties we will create this input and output parameters. We will insert a row. What we have in input, we have airline ID, connection ID, and flight date. Okay, so we'll go here and copy this airline ID. Okay, then we can use this connection ID. Okay, then we have this flight date. Okay, we'll paste and we will choose them as key because they are import parameter and all of them are mandatory. Okay, so then we will go to export and we are getting the data inside flight data. Okay, so we will see the type. We can click on the associated type. In the output also we are getting this airline ID. We have airline, We can copy the airline. We will paste here. Order doesn't matter actually. Then we have connection ID, and flight date we will copy. Flight date also we have. We will copy this airport FR. Airport from. Okay, so we have this basic input output. We will not go with all the fields. Okay, so this is enough for our requirement. We will use this edm.string. Okay, we can copy this type and we will paste it to each property or each field. Okay, we will copy, we will paste. Quick copy paste will not work here. So now if we generate or check it, let's see if we are getting any error or not. We are not getting any error. We are getting few warnings, but it is okay. So now we will go to service implementation. And what is our new entity set? It is get detail set. Okay, so here we will use get entity because we have only one output record. Okay, we will right click and we will click map to data source. After clicking on map to data source, again we can use this remote function call. We will paste the RFC or function module name or BAPI name. We will paste here. We will click on here continue, and here we will map our input and output. So where we were getting the output, we were getting the output inside flight data. Okay, so airline ID, where is airline ID? Here we have airline ID, then airline, then flight date, then connection ID, then airport FR. Okay, we need input also, so we have 3 inputs. What was the first one? Airline ID. We can select the second also. What is the second? Connection ID. Okay, see, if you can see here, it is automatically taking input and output. Okay, so now we will select the third one. What is the third one? Third one is FL date, flight date. Okay, so we have done the mapping. Let's check. We are getting one error. What is the error? Data type error. So we will go to our entity. What is the entity? Get detail. Okay, we can go to flight date and we can choose this ABAP type. We can go to explicit assignment. We can copy the data element from this flight date. It is s_date. So we will paste here. We will click on continue. Now we will check it again. We are not getting any error. We will generate it. So we have generated without any errors. Now we will register this one, or let's see if we require to register for every entity set or not. Okay, let's click on register. We don't require. Okay, so we can click on SAP Gateway client. In SAP Gateway client, if we directly execute, we'll get 200 because we haven't selected our entity set. So you need to select the entity set. What is the entity set? It is something get detail. Okay, BAPI get detail something. It is taking some time. So this is our new entity set, BAPI_flight_get detail set. Okay, we will click on it and we will execute it. If we will directly execute it, we will get an error because we haven't implemented this GetEntity set method. Okay, so we need to pass input like this in parenthesis. In parenthesis, we will pass all the input parameters. What are our input parameters? We can go to the function module and we can copy the import. Okay, so this is the import parameter. We can come here, we can paste this here. What is the airline ID for us? The airline ID is AA. Then we can select the connection ID. What is the connection ID for us? The connection ID is 0017. We have seen. Okay, so this is the input format you need to use for GetEntity 0017. Okay, what was the date? I don't remember the date. We can go to this output and we can see the date. The date is 18/3/2025. Okay, so we can try here. Copy this, paste here. What is the date? 18/3/2025. Okay, we will place inside inverted comma and we will execute this. Let's see what we are getting. Flight AA 0017 18/3/20. So if you are able to see, we are not getting the full input here. We are getting only 20. We need to get 2025. Okay, so we will try another format. We can pass in 2025 03 and 18. We will pass in YYYY DD format. We will execute this. See, we are getting 200 and we are also getting the record. So like this, you can use GetEntity and GetEntity set to map to data source and you can perform operations. Okay, but if you are deleting inside your function module, you should choose delete here, and if you are updating something, you should use update here. Then you can choose this post, put, patch, merge according to the implementation, and which is also the best practices. So you can follow this, and I hope you understood everything. Let's meet in the next video.